Well, let's see who's around today. Let's see, I got a report I want to put in for the members on Let's Go Help 2. New report that just, it's links to all the grants. Ooh, I printed it out. Let me go get that too. Uh, oh God, am I bad at this stuff? It's hard. I get 80 to do more than one thing at a time, and I'm trying to do three. So I'll suffer through it. What the hell? It beats, it beats doing nothing. I mean, that's the killer in life, doing nothing. And so that's why if you don't have anything to do, just dream of something to do and do it, because that'll lead to something else you really want to do. You didn't know that until you see something else, and that opens your mind and keeps going. But I got about 10, 12 new grants I found today that I want to share with you, and also to make sure. Now, what I do this is really just a. I always try to think of the best way I could do what I could do best. I mean, studying this thing 48 years or more, and I'm always trying to think, okay, what can I do that encourages people, that makes them believe that? Because if you don't believe this stuff is there, you're not going to do it. You're going to try a little bit and then give up, and then you don't get anything. And it's like anything, man. If you want to learn how to play baseball, you just got to want to learn how to play baseball, because you're going to go up and try to hit the ball, and shit, that's hard, isn't it? So a lot of things in life are that way. And it may be easier, and you get lucky and whatever, like grants, somebody, I applied one and got this and whatever. Or you think everything's like the COVID grants where it's for everybody, but it isn't. I mean, it is, but that doesn't happen all the time. And they're giving more money now than ever before. See, I mean, what upsets me and makes me get up every morning and work at this harder is that, there's so many people that are living hand to mouth. I mean, the middle class and lower class has not improved. The country has improved, but not the middle lower class. Their wages went nowhere but down in the last 30 or 40 years. Yeah, and the wages on the upper income went up, and that's where. And to me, that's not fair. If we're all in this together, that doesn't sound like together. And one way to help the people who don't have what they need to get by are these government programs, because the rich people use the hell out of it. They're probably even getting more money out of this than you, because the average person making $130,000 to $1 million, they get like 10% of their income comes from government programs, grant. So 10% of $1 million is $100,000 there, right? And people making like $40,000, about 30% of their income. So that's 3, 4, 12. That's about $12,000. So a millionaire is getting $100,000 of government grants, and you're getting 12. And so, and to me, it's all about knowledge. You have to know where it is, and it's not easy, and we want things easy, so we give up if it's not easy, and if it's not worth it to you, and you have something else to do that can improve your life, you go get it. But all I know for sure is that these programs are there for people to improve their lives, particularly financial problems. How do I apply? I missed the info. Well, to apply to me is letsgohelp.com. Okay, and that's how to join with us. Now I'm gonna, and actually on Instagram, on YouTube, I'm gonna put all the grants I talk about today are gonna be in the description and on the chat on YouTube, so you can get sent a request to be in your life. Oh, that's awfully nice. Where is the 12? I would love to have it. Okay, you got to listen. Okay, you got to listen to what's going on. And I'm going to put the list, I'm going to put it in the description. I'm going to go through and describe these programs so you see what there are, and to encourage you. Now, all these programs are some are national, a lot of them are local. So if they're local and you don't live there, that's okay. You got to know about things like this that are going on, because there's something like that going on where you live. And what you have to do is take the initiative and try to find those programs where you live. If you don't do that, then you're going to get nothing. You have something to do or other things to do, that's fine. I want to buy land and grow food for the poor. I got a bunch of stuff like that too, and even urban farmers. You could grow. There's money and help for you to be an urban farmer and create food. We need food in this country, right? And we can't be importing all this stuff from Brazil or where the hell it comes from. Yeah, and one other joint. It's important that you realize that it's out there, and then you stumble through trying to find what it is. You don't get up and hit a home run the first time you grab a bat and somebody pitches you a ball. It doesn't. We want to do that, sure, but it ain't going to happen. So the more I could convince you so you don't give up. See, that's why I want to impress that, because what happens, and I think that's why people call me a scam. I mean, you'll see out there, people will call me a scam because it may be hard to get it, and, oh, I'm sorry, life is hard. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. And I make it sound easy, but my excitement is because I know it's a value. And I know it can be of tremendous value to the average person here, because the rich people don't need the help. They know, they figured out how to get this stuff, and they're just going to get them more. And we got to have somebody doing this and tell the average, train the average person. Some words of training. That's why I charge basically nothing as far as financial services do. $20. That's it for a whole month, and you can eat as much as you want. And we give unlimited one-on-one help. Now, I don't fly out to your house. Somebody said, "Where's the one-on-one help?" Like, I'm going to talk to you on the phone for 2 hours. No, at $20, I can't do that. I can't stay in business. But this way we are, and we give them free help all the time, because you could ask 100 questions a day, and we passionately answer your questions. Okay, and we also, besides that, we have members. They'll be on tonight, 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock on Let's Go Help, too. And you hear two because we have one is really Facebook. We started on Facebook, and Facebook turned out to be so fucking scammy. So many people sneak in there. It's a closed group, but people figure out how to get in there, how to pretend they're me, and say, "Hey, I'll give you extra help for $500 or something." And it's just hard. These big companies like that, and I can't even get back on my own website with my own name. They say I'm not old enough. Holy shit, that's the most funniest thing to do. I send them my a picture of my driver's license and everything, and they can't because I'm not old enough. Wow, that's crazy. I'm 80 years old, soon to be 81. That'll be another nice thing to do. Did your voice get really low for a sec there? I don't know. Maybe. At my age, if I used it too much, there's nothing usable too much. Okay, let me go through this. Oh, by the way, don't forget, we have our own grants now, and we also just announced the rent grants for last month. The 20th of the month, we give out $20,000 worth of rent grants. On the 30th of the month, we give out 25 free computers. On the 4th of the month, we give out $40,000 you could spend on anything. And on the 15th of the month, we give out $15,000 for car repairs. So you could apply to all four. You could win all four. You can't win one twice, though. Okay, here's a nice, I don't know how I pick up the good things, not the bad reviews. You inspired me to start my career in service. Wonderful. And that's it. We all have to have. I mean, people out there are scamming you legitimately. I see to me, what our country is in capitalism, they don't care if it's immoral, as long as it's legal. Legal, then it's okay. Immoral, I don't know. And that's it. And that's why you won't see, like, to join me, you're not going to have 15 pages of fine print on what you have to do to guarantee or to get a refund, all this kind of stuff. No, I don't care. You don't like what I do? Give your money back. Don't worry about it. Doesn't matter. And I mean, would you ask your mother to do this? I mean, this is it. What do you want to live in? A place that everybody thinks everybody else is a liar, a cheater, a scam? There are few out there, but you're ruining it for the rest of us. If you're treating everybody like that. So the worst I have is I got to give you $20. Yeah, I will never fight you for that, for $100 even. Too many more important things to do. And so if you misunderstood, and I can understand how that happens, maybe my enthusiasm gets you excited. Oh, I could do this, and you may or may not be able to. And if you get there and you're not willing to put in the time, or you think it's not of value, I don't want anything that you think it's not of value. It's sort of like staying in a relationship where the other person doesn't want you. You don't want to stay there, no matter what. No, they don't want you. Well, get the hell out and find something better to live with. That's the important. Is your site a digital version of your books? Yes, in a way, but it's much better. Said in my site, better digital version. It's the same information, but now people use it more. People can get more out of it. I throw people a book, 1,000 pages, and it becomes a door stopper in the summer for their screen door. No, now you get one-on-one help. What do you want to do? You want to start a business? Okay, I show you the name, address, and phone number, who to contact, where you live to help you start a business. Okay, and that's where you live. So you had to find it in the book before, right? And that's even a cheaper price. I used to sell the books at $40 because it took me $20 to process the order and send the goddamn book out. Now I only charge $20 and I make more money. So we give the money back in grants. And that's what's cool. Okay, let's go through the list here. Okay, here. First-time home buyer grants for immediate, temporary, or permanent housing if facing homeless. This is in California. They have something called Home First Program. Home First Program, okay? Now, you may not live in California. If you don't, you want to look for something like that. So if they're doing it, other states and cities are doing something similar. They won't call it Home First, that's all. You have to find out what it is for you. And what this program is for, individuals and families assisted with funds but not be required to receive treatment or perform any other prerequisite activities as a condition for receiving interim or permanent housing or other services which these funds are used. So what they're saying there, they want to give people money just to get in a house. You don't have to do a drug test, you don't have to get a job, you don't have to do anything else to get this money and do something. It's just to get your ass in a house and off the street. Or you're afraid to be on the street and you're afraid about foreclosure. That's what it's for, okay? And it's called Housing First, should be adopted within the entire local homelessness response system. See, every city has something trying to fight homelessness because this is an issue. People they're behind in their rent. They're going to get thrown on the street, and that means homeless. So the government is in charge of trying to help with that. Okay, and that's what I do. So local organizations, including outreach, interim housing, short-term interventions like rapid rehousing or longer-term interventions and supportive housing. So there's all kinds of programs. It's a whole bunch of jargon, and you don't have to remember the specifics. You just have to remember that, hey, there's a lot of shit out there that I could probably use, and that's what you have there. Yeah, you lose if you don't use. Yeah, that's it. Okay, here's another one program. HUD is giving a lot of money out and something called a Community Development Block Grant. Every city and county get that money, and state, in something called Community Development Block Grant, okay? And that money is used for rent, it's used for deposit money, it's used for down payment money, okay? So what you want to do is find out where your local, what office gets the local community block grant. And it's usually the county level and community development. So you want to look for the Office of Community Development in your county. How do you find that? You could call 211, you could go to findhelp.org and find it there. So you want the Community Development Office of your city or county or both, and even your state, okay? Because that's where it gets this big money. So if you have a rent problem, if you have a housing problem, you have the payment problem to buy a house or put a deposit, okay? Here's an interesting thing, is having a webinar on April 30th on how to get $40,000 for home repair grants. Okay, now this program closes June 18th, and this is a national program. of $40,000 for home repair grants. $40,000 of home repair grants. The webinar is April 3rd, and the deadline is June 3rd. So you could go on this webinar online. Now this is for small towns. So it's part of the Department of Agriculture. Here's the national link. So if you don't get this thing right away, put rd.usda.gov. RD, Rural Development.usda.gov. And you're looking for, search for Home Labor Housing Direct Loans Grants, okay? Home Labor Housing Direct Loans Grants. Home Labor Housing Direct Loans Grants, okay? And that's a national program all over, okay? Here's the $50,000 to $250,000, okay, for small businesses. And the deadline is May 15th. That's a couple days after my birthday. May 15th is deadline. $50,000, $200,000. And all these, this is business money for small businesses, okay, in small towns. So it's rural. And it's actually, this is for the state of Ohio. But they have something similar in every state. You have to find out what is available like this where you live. It's not going to come to you. You got to go to it and find out what's going on there, okay? Let's see, what do we got? Michelle, you're working tonight, I think. Thank you so much. Who else is here? Michelle, thank you so much. Okay, I ordered 2 shirts and 2 mugs from your store. Oh, thank you, Michelle. I have not received it. I sent them. Interesting. Okay, let me figure that out. We had a whole bunch of things wrong with our credit card processing, and that just happened a week or 2 ago. So that may be caught up in there. And so let me check on that, Michelle. I'm glad you asked me, okay? I'll get over there. And, you know, in a day or 2, if you don't see something about me, send me a note somehow, okay? So I know. Okay, so the $50,000, $250,000. This is actually in Iowa, okay? If you want to look at what they're doing, is chooseiowa.com, chooseiowa.com, because it may even be worth moving there. If someone's going to give you $250,000 to start a business, what the hell? So chooseiowa.com/grants. See, it's all about economic development. It's all about being self-sustainable. Yeah, and that's what all these programs are for. I mean, they're not for you to sit back and clip coupons. They're for you to do something and contribute something in society. And that's what, very peaceful. Thank you for saying, Grace, seeing you live. Yes, I enjoy being live. I enjoy being alive. There's a tune in there somewhere. Okay, here's another small business grant. $5,000 for small businesses with 1 to 15 employees, and one of those employees have to make less than $18 an hour, $19 an hour. See, how would you know that? And the deadline is April 16th. Gosh, okay, this is in Colorado. They're doing this. Now, that's right. Yeah, I'm looking for a grant because I have 3 or more employees, and one of them can't make $19 an hour. You don't know that. You don't know that. That's why, to me, I used to always only wear question mark suits because we don't know the questions to ask. Do you have any grants for small businesses that one of their employees can't pay them $19 an hour? Oh yes, we have one right here. $5,000 grant just for you. And you know, I looked at that application now, and I'll have the link, you know, in here later when you see that. And by the way, Let's Go Help Too. I put the link to all these reports in the chat up in the beginning. But the application is the name and address and 7 blocks to put yes or no. And then you have to send like 2 or 3 documents, one about your payroll, so they prove that you have somebody making less than that, and one about that you're an official business. That's it. So you upload 2 documents, click 7 boxes, and put your name and address. Now, if you need and a grant writer to do that, I don't think your business is going to be very successful. If you can't figure that out, and that's it. Everybody finds a way, and I'm the same way too. We all love to be lazy because that's easier, and we think of ways why we don't want to bust our ass to try to get something. Because the application is going to be hard. I know it was. I don't know how to fill out an application. Well, if you don't know how to fill out and check 7 boxes, then if this is too hard for you, find another career is my advice. And that's why, but it's human nature, and I understand that. And that's why I try to find things like this that are almost absurd, because to argue about people. And sure, there are complicated applications, and sure, there's everything, and sure, there's some hard to get. Sure, there's some easy to get. All those things are right, they're not right all the time. Just because one is, it's not all dumb, all blonde women are dumb, right? And that's what I'm trying to get a small business startup in Florida. Do you know where I can go to try to find grants for help? Yes, you don't go ask for grants. If you want a grant, you don't go and ask for a grant. You ask for help. You want to start a business? Ask for help. And if you're a member, you go to item number 5 in the Let's Go Meta Grant Report and find all the free help in Florida where you live. And also download the report, the 500 mini grant reports for Florida. So there's 500 mini grants for everything, whether it's business, bills, education, housing, anything. They're all category, about 15 different categories. 500 grants for your state. Okay, if you have none of those, you're a member, here's where to go. Go to sba.gov/local assistance. sba.gov/local assistance, and sign up for a free counseling session with people who will help you find the money, help you think through your idea and everything. That's what you have to do. You don't go out just looking for money for your idea, because you have to match your idea with what's out there. It's sort of like looking for a date. You're going to put in, well, I want somebody this, that, though, or whatever. That's what I want, and a midget drops in and steals your heart, and it's over. So that's why you have to see what's there first, to see what's more logical for you to do that. Detroit is full of grants, man. There's so much money in Detroit, particularly for jobs and for businesses and education and new careers. Man, they have tons of money because Biden threw so much money at those issues, and Detroit is one of all of Michigan is one of the places that is hurt hard by the change in the economy. So they're still throwing a lot of money for out there, but they don't advertise, so you don't know. So you go to findhelp.org, and put in job training or business or whatever you're looking for, and start there. Now, that's not the end all and be all, but that's a place to start, because there's literally thousands of places in your state to get help. But if I give you a big list, you're going to give up. That's too big to start. No, you start small and find out, and then build from there. Every source that you contact that doesn't give you money, you have to ask them for another source that may give you money, because they're going to know better than me or anybody else. Okay. What's it? Okay, payday loans. Okay, right now, if you ever got a payday loan, you know that you're going to go in and borrow $300, and by the end of the week, they want $50 to $100 more, and then you don't have that, so you have to borrow more money, and then your interest rate goes from like 40% to 370%. Now, Michigan is a state that's getting rid of payday loans. They could only charge now 36% maximum. And I think credit cards are like 20 or 30 or something like that. So payday loans can't do that anymore. There's about 20 states that are now regulated, because payday loans are making so much money and they have so much influence in Washington. They were going to stop them nationally, and their lobby, the payday loan lobby, was able to stop it. So now they're doing it on the state level. So do not go to payday loans. And where do you go instead? You go to findhelp.org, and you put financial assistance. Findhelp.org, put financial assistance, because actually there's churches and people like that, nonprofit organizations that lend you money at 0% interest, right? So you don't do there, and there's other ways to pay for things. So that's the important thing. You need help with payday loan people that are bad, go to consumerfinance.gov. consumerfinance.gov, and then file a complaint. It takes you 3-4 minutes to fill out that, and they'll go and contact them and shake their pants off to get you satisfaction, because that's what they're there to do. They get paid to do that, and they say they'll do it within 2 weeks. Man, your lawyer's not going to do that, and they're going to charge you $500, so you don't want to do that. Okay, Biden increases. They just passed a bill yesterday or last night, I don't know, whenever people want to get out of town, that's all I know. And the new program has lots there for childcare, Head Start, and also childcare for people who want to go back to school. So you have a family and you can't go back and get the education you need because you don't have childcare. There's money in this, and they increased the money. They had it before, they increased that, and overall childcare, and also for Head Start. Now, here's a website you could go to find out the kinds of things that are available in your state, and that's at care.com, and look for child care subsidies and programs. So that's care, C-A-R-E, .com, and then child care subsidies and programs. Okay, what am I, what do my cameras say that it's gonna go out of? Okay. Did I do it? Did I do it? Yes. Okay, maybe a little cockeyed, that's all. Well, I'm always that. So lots of child care money now, new child care money now. So find out about that. And if you don't want to find legislation, go locally, go to your state capital, and actually this, yeah, it's mostly at the state level where this stuff is. And it's care, C-A-R-E.com, and then look for child care subsidies and programs, okay? Co-pays, okay. I think this is Oregon. Oregon just passed a law too, and it's happening all over, where sometimes you're able to get a grant for your co-pay. So particularly in these expensive drugs now have incredible costs. Like there's a woman in Oregon that pays $25,000 twice a month for some kind of drug to help her kid live, because of the blood condition he has. So that $25,000 she gets as a copay is not part of the deductible for her health care. You know what I mean? So you have a deductible on health care, maybe it's $5,000 or something like that, and then after that, they'll pay for it. Well, in most programs, if you get a copay grant, money to pay copay, that's not counted, because the institutions that want all this money said, no, we can't cover that. Well, they can. They have to now. And not everywhere. You have to check in your state what it is. And here's where to check actually for help with copays too. In the link here, under item number 8 of these programs, I have a link here to find out about panfoundation.org. PANFOUNDATION.org, and you find out local co-pay assistance. There's a lot of free grants and everything for co-pays, so you want to find out about it, and that's a good place to get you help. They have people for free. They help you find all this stuff. Panfoundation.org. Then you also want to go to this, Needy, NEEDY-MEDS, okay? And you could put in co-pay-diseases after that. But that's a great place to find any kind of free medical health, dental health, for any problem. I mean, I went there and found free dental care for me, and I could afford it. That's city, so I give them a big gift. I just feel guilty. Light over your head looks like a halo. Halo. I know. I saw that when the contractor put in that light. Ooh, ooh, that looks fun. So I keep it. You think what you want, but just don't call my ex-wives. Okay, so also here, $25,000 a grant just started in Jacksonville, Florida. $25,000 grant to buy a house. That's down payment money. For homes, $350,000. And I guess in Jacksonville, you get a decent home for $350,000. And here you get $25,000. Now, also what's happened, I read about that because I was reading about another story where there's a bank that was redlining. In other words, they wouldn't give people mortgages if they wanted to buy a house in certain areas of the country. I mean, like maybe where minorities live, they weren't giving any grants there to buy houses. And so they got caught with their fingers in the cookie jar. Now they have to give away grants, $20,000 grants for anybody who wants to buy a house in these minority living areas, okay? So they just got slapped with a fine of having to pay $20,000 to people who want to buy houses there. And that's pretty neat. Now that's in Jacksonville. Grants that help money growing food in the city. Yeah, I mean, who would have thought? Hot dog food in the cities. Okay, and that's farmers.gov. You want to be a farmer? You are a farmer in the city, in the country, anywhere. Look at all the stuff they have. If you put farmers.gov and then put in your business and urban growers, you learn about this program, okay? And a way to find more for anything to do with agriculture or your back garden or anything, find your local county cooperative extension service. County Cooperative Extension Service, County Cooperative Extension Service, okay? And you do that, and you find that by going pickyourown.org. That's a good place to find your local County Cooperative Extension Service. You live in a small town, want to start a business, you call them. You live in a small town, want help buying or selling or fixing up a home, you call them, okay? You live in a small town or a big town, and you have homeschooling, you call them. You live in a big town, small town, and you have rodents in your garden, you call them. Anything to do with living and housing. I mean, it's one of the best little-known places, sources in the country, and that's your County Cooperative Extension Service. Otherwise, don't go to Google, please, because they're there. People are going to show you how. Today, how are you today? I am great. Jimmy, yeah, there are dental schools that will not charge. That's right. There's a lot more than just the dental schools, too. There's clinics that do this all around the country, and there's other ways. So look at needymeds.org and look at dental clinics, and you'll find them. And they're free or sliding scale, and they're great places. And we need it. Love hearing you give Google help. But Matt, your monthly grants are on Google Work Forms. On Google Work Form. My monthly grants are on Google Work Form. Yeah, I'm not saying Google is bad. I mean, they have some good parts. No, how else are you going to find anything? But you don't go and look for a problem. Solve a problem. If you know the name, like you knew my name, then you could find me. If you look, I need free grants or something, then you're just going to get slammed with scammers, and people want your money for something you get for free. So there's good and bad. Cars are good. Cars are bad. Computers are good. Computers are bad. AI is good. AI is bad. So you have to know when to use them, when to hold them, when to fold them, or whatever that old song is. I'm too old to remember old songs. But I enjoy doing this so much, and I hope to do it for a good 10, 15 years yet. There's so many problems. We have problems with our business now because the Stripe screwed up our accounting, and the way we process credit cards is all screwed up. And so people, you get double charged or whatever, just let us know. We'll give you back any money we screwed up with. Don't worry about it. But I want to apologize. This is going to be a while. We're not very good at this because I'm more interested in helping people. And the machinery to run off everything, things. I mean, I could sort of do it, but it's not what I'm best at. and try to do it. And we try to stay lean too, so we don't have a big overhead. And so when things get tough, like now, things are tough because all of a sudden we lost a lot of money last month or two because they just pulled the plug on us with 2 weeks notice, and we're still trying to come back, and we haven't yet. And that's about 3 weeks into it. And so it's been tough, but we'll be there. We're still going out the grant, so it's important. And I think, it's important to help people who need help. And at least at my stage of life, that's all I want to do. It just seems the most satisfying and loving people. I mean, that's what, to me, grows my heart. If you can assist, you want to help other members learn about these programs, then join us, and we give stipends if you go live. Now tonight there's 2 hours, one at 5 and one at 7, of members who will help you, and that's, to me, the best thing we have, is that members who just figured out this stuff, like you haven't figured it out yet, so they're better to help you, I think, than I am, and because I figured it out 48 years ago, and spend my life now trying to educate people. And I can't relate as well to someone just starting as someone who's a member and doing that and figured it out. And that's why I'm so grateful for them doing this, and I appreciate every second of their lives that they do this. And they're wonderful people with open hearts. And can we get a copy of this video? Well, I think you could download it. That's on Instagram, but it's on YouTube too. And so I guess it's easier to get on YouTube. So it's over there on YouTube. I'm streaming on YouTube now too, and also on Let's Go Help too. Got 3. I'm thinking of putting on TikTok. I'm there, but not much. I did very well about a year or so ago, and then they bumped me off for some reason. I get everybody tries to slap you down. That's okay. Keeps me strong. The farming for urban development, yes, absolutely, yes, and all the lists. But I'm going to put that list too in the Instagram and on YouTube, and it'll be there in a second, and on the chat in. Here, thank you, Matthew, for what you do for us. Well, thank you, Cynthia. I shout all about love and your fellow man. Absolutely, Michelle. I just, and what I can't get over is how just saying the word love opens my heart. Like, God, that's strange. Maybe because I'm a guy, grew up in the 50s, and and that wasn't a thing. A word that you used. I never even heard it around my house, I don't think. They were nice people. It's just, but now I see, boy, I just can't think of anything better. And it's important. And at least it's important for me. So, but we're all selfish. And that's why I do it. I try to love more, because it's a selfish act. Because I feel so good. I'm not doing it for you. Fuck you. It makes me feel good. Oh, wow. Well, I think another thing is humor. Humor makes the pain go away. Do you have a grant for independent contracts of business in California? There's lots of help for that. I mean, again, look at item number 5. This is somebody on the membership site. Item number 5, Let's Go Grant Report. And make an appointment with those counselors, free business mentors to help you, show you that stuff. Don't call and ask for a grant. You call and ask for help. Help me, Wanda, help. Okay, thank you, guys. I gotta care for my wife now too. She hasn't been seeing since her eye operation. That will make her see a little bit, maybe. So I gotta be a seeing eye clown. That's what basically I am. See you soon. Love you all. Thank you for being there and treating me so nicely and saying wonderful words that I've never heard so much in my life. Thank you.